Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived two sisters. Their names were Chinanu and Ijeoma. Chinanu was the eldest and she was very smart, but she was also very arrogant about her intelligence. She thought of herself to be the smartest of all, and she turned up her nose at every person in the town. The younger one, Ijeoma, was very kind and sweet. But although she was lovable, she was equally proud. Both sisters never bothered to mend their ways, and because of this, they would always have differences. As time passed, they became very poor. They would go hungry almost every night, and we are lucky if they had even a little bread and cheese to eat. One day, Ijeoma was sitting at the table, looking out at the sky when suddenly her tummy started growling very loudly. She felt so hungry as she hasn't eaten properly for days. And even at that time, there was nothing to eat. So she thought of going for a walk. Maybe she would forget about how hungry she was. So out into the woods, she went to take a stroll. She kept walking on and soon had to stop and rest, for she was very tired. Soon, an old woman appeared in front of her. She was dressed in a dark robe and looked so appalling that Ijeoma was about to run away. The woman then called out on her, asking if she would fetch some water for her, as she was so thirsty and that she has not had a drink for 2 whole days. Ijeoma felt sorry for her and her tender heart gave way. She then fetched some water for the old woman. The old woman thanked her for her kindness and offered to repay her for her kindness. And in a burst of light, the old woman had turned herself into a beautiful young woman. Ijeoma was most amazed at what she saw. And the witch immediately asked her what she wished for, as she would give it to her no matter what it is. So Ijeoma told her how poor they were and how they had to remain hungry for days. The woman then told her that she would find a pot lying on her table when she returned home, and that it's a magic pot, and that each time they want food, they must say to the pot, "Cook, little pot, cook," and the pot will cook as much rice as they want. That way, she and her sister would never go hungry again. And when they are done eating and are satisfied, they must say to the pot, "Stop, little pot, stop." And the pot would immediately cease to cook. Ijeoma was so happy and couldn't wait to get home. But before she left, the woman then told her that to keep this magic pot forever, she must own it, and that if she do nothing to deserve it, then it will vanish from their lives, and they would both go hungry again. She warned her not to forget those words, as she would fall into a lot of troubles if she forgets. Ijeoma then thanked her again and went home. Ijeoma soon returned home and found the pot on the table, just as the witch had said. Chinanu was standing near, staring at it closely. She then asked Ijeoma if she brought the pot home, and then she said yes. And then asked her sister if she's not amazing. Chinanu then asked her what she meant by amazing. That what is amazing is when she finds a way to put food into the pot to cook. So Ijeoma told her that she would be very happy to know that the pot is a magical pot and will feed them forever. Chinanu mocked her sense of reasoning, as hunger has taken away her little brain. Ijeoma looked at the pot and said, "Cook, little pot, cook." And as soon as she ended her spell, The pot started bubbling and brewing, the hot rice on its own. Chinanu was extremely amazed and Ijeoma looked on with glee. In an instant, the rice was done and the aroma filled the room and made both the girls hungrier than ever. They both tasted it and it was the best rice they had ever eaten. In this way, they ate to their heart's content every day and were never hungry again. They were never tired of it since it was very thirsty. But one day, Chinanu told Ijeoma that since they now have enough to eat, they should give some to the poor people in their village. Ijeoma was happy with the idea, and so she went and fetched all the poor and starving people from their homes and off the streets, telling them that they have some delicious food to give them. And up came all the people with bright sparkling eyes. Chinanu filled the bowls while inside, and Ijeoma gave them out to all the people. They all thanked them, as most of them had not eaten for days. Seeing all the people happy and with smiling faces, Chinanu and Ijeoma felt very happy. So they decided to feed the people every day, so they would never go hungry again. Every day they go out to the streets, to the poor people's homes, sharing food. And this went on for a long time, until one day, a poor beggar came to their home, and he asked them to give him the pot that makes food, that he had come from a far off and his grandchildren are sick, that he has nothing to feed them, and he wants to take it home with him. So the two sisters thought about it and decided to give the pot to the old man so his grandchildren could eat. And immediately the old man turned into a witch, and Ijeoma immediately recognized her. The witch then commended their actions, saying she's happy they have learned to care and think about others before themselves, and that they've also helped the poor and hungry people of their town, so they can keep the pot, as they both deserve it. They were both happy to keep the pot forever. And even after that, Chinanu and Ijeoma continued to feed the people, and the smiles on the people's faces made them very happy.